3.4 million animal lives. That's big, but the number isn't truly what happened. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Jun. So it's the end of Veganuary 2021. I think it should be the last day in Europe and the US. I'm curious, I want to hear your experience. How did it go? Was it easy or hard? How many days did you cheat? Did you absolutely hate it or was it life-changing? Which I hope it was. Now you've seen the title and you're probably thinking I'm gonna convince you to stay vegan. But instead of that, I'm gonna inspire you with your achievement this month and what's happening in the world today. First of all, the impact you guys made together in this world, including those of you who cheated, is massive. Veganuary is the most successful and fastest growing vegan campaign ever in history. It was launched by a couple in the UK back in 2014. For the first year, 3,300 people signed up. Last year, which was only 6 years later, 400,000 people signed up. And this year, they hit record-breaking 500,000 signups. What's more fascinating is that there's a study that says last year, the actual number of people who participated without officially signing up was 10 times higher. So we're talking 5 million people worldwide going vegan this 1 month, and it will continue to grow in the future. Now, veganism isn't a new thing, but we clearly see the rise of it in the past few years. The trend, the changing consumer perception, and the public's awareness of animal rights, health, and the environment, climate change. Now we're in a very worrying situation right now. We basically have less than 10 years to change the way we live and the way many businesses and industries operate before we face some serious consequences and disasters. Also, because of COVID-19, humanity has been experiencing something we had not experienced for ages. It's something our generations have never experienced before on a global scale. It changed the way we live, the way we communicate, and I think we've given the chance to reflect on ourselves, our action, and life in general. And it's a very good thing that people are finally recognizing the link between animal farming and potential pandemics. Since the pandemic started, consumers all around the world have been shifting towards plant-based foods more than ever before. Now, for societal change to happen, individual changes must happen, and that's exactly what happened this month. So let me give you some numbers. If you didn't cheat at all, you've saved approximately 620 pounds of CO2 emissions, 913 square feet of forest, 33,000 plus gallons of water, and 30 animal lives. Those are what you would save living vegan for a month. If you continue this lifestyle, each day you will save 1,100 gallons of water, 45 pounds of grain, and 30 square feet of forest land, 20 pounds of CO2 equivalent, and 1 animal's life. How amazing would it be to save 1 animal every day? Now, this is last year's stats. The total of 1 million plus participants of Veganuary have collectively saved 3.4 million animal lives. That's big. But the number isn't truly what happened. We can't forget the fact that those specific 3.4 million animals weren't rescued. Sadly, they still did end up in a slaughterhouse. Obviously because people still consume them and are demanding more to be killed. So the Veganuary campaign only delayed the process. So we can't really look at these numbers and be happy until the population of vegans rises enough to disrupt the big supply and demand situation. That's when the general public starts realizing there's no point growing animals for inefficient foods that don't provide good enough nutrients, considering the ridiculous amount of land and resources it takes. And the food it takes, ironically, and the taxes we're paying. I'm gonna talk about that in a future video very soon. And fundamentally, the suffering and pain it takes. That's not quite the culture we want to pass on to our next generations. But one thing for sure, we're getting close to that. This year, we have made more progress than we did last year. People say, oh, vegans can't change the world. But we are changing the world. The change is happening right now. If you look at the milk section at supermarkets in countries like the US, the UK, and most of other European countries, plus Australia, half of it is plant milk. Same thing for ice cream. We didn't have such a variety of plant options 10 or 5 years ago. Plant-based protein has officially gone mainstream. Nielsen's data shows that it had one of the highest sales growth rates, with dollar sales up 129%. According to a research, 40% of large food companies have dedicated plant-based R&D and sales teams. See how powerful we are as consumers? So we are heading in the right direction. Right now, there are obstacles and hardships living vegan in a very non-vegan world, but I promise it will only get easier and those products will be cheaper. All we have to do is keep fueling the transformation by making ethical and responsible choices and aligning our actions with our values. In this case, every time you choose plant milk over cow's milk, you're voting for a world without the exploitation of animals and mass murder of animals. A world without unnecessary suffering and pain of innocent beings, but instead a compassionate world where humans and all other sentient beings coexist peacefully and with harmony. And a beautiful world where we and our future generations can still live comfortably. We need to educate others and our future generations, and it's also important to educate ourselves further. This was your very first month living vegan, and if you joined this movement, I know you've made the connection, whether it's for the animals or the environment or your own health. But I'm sure you haven't grasped all the facts and perspectives of veganism yet. My last video was 12 absolute reasons to go vegan, and I explained how being vegan is no longer a matter of personal choice. When I turned vegan 2 years ago, I didn't know most of what I talk about now. There's always something to learn about this world, and there's always room for improvement, so we can educate others as well. So that is all from me today. If you found this video insightful, please like and share it with your Veganuary buddies. Thanks for watching, see you next time.